Yo, what is up? This is Juno Beats, and in this video we're going to deconstruct how OK by Lil Durk and Lil Baby was made in FL Studio. Credit where credit's due. This was made by a producer called DannyProdThis, and dude, I checked out his Genius page, and he only has made this one beat. Like, this is a dope beat. I expect him to have a lot more. Anyway, let's get on to the intro. So in this beat, you have a few instruments coming in. You got some piano notes, you got some strings, and you have more strings and more piano. We are going to start with FL keys. It should be a stock plugin in FL Studio. It'll be playing these notes. Okay, and for the main piano notes that's coming in, we are using Purity, the Tine EP delay, as well as the Piano Arena presets. Normally you guys would quantize your notes to line in the piano roll. However, for this one, this is quantized to 1/3 step. So notice that it like lies neatly in, whereas if I were to switch it back to line and hit Control Q, the notes would be all over the place. 1/3 time. All right, moving on. So in this next section, you have the exact same pianos playing. Now we have some strings coming in. For this, we're using Purity, the Arco low string preset. And lastly, in this section, you have a Metro Boomin 808 coming in. And here are the notes. All right, moving on, you got some drums coming in and the higher piano notes. Using Nexus 2, the Piano Arena Ambience preset, you have the exact same notes that were played in the beginning with the piano, just up an octave. And for effects for this piano, it looks like a lot. I'd say the main one is just RC20, the Sampler 12 noisy preset, just playing with the distort and the space knob a little bit. So before the effects and after. Okay, and on to the drums. For the snare, we are using one from Cymatics kit called the Baby Snare. And for the hi-hat, we're using one from Cymatics kit called the Outta Here hi-hat. Pay attention to the velocity at the bottom. It makes a huge difference. Here's the next section. Now we have a second string pattern from Purity coming in. So for this one, using the same Arco low preset, here's the notes for the second string pattern. And all the melodies together. Okay, so moving on to the drums. In this section, you have a kick and an open hat coming in. Okay, for the open hat, we're using one from Cymatics called the Tight Open Hat. We're also copying that and making it our own channel for a reversed hat. And we have a little tight envelope for it to make sure it doesn't play the entire sample. For the first pattern, the normal open hat, it'll be playing these notes. And here's a pattern for the reverse open hat. I will play this along with the snare and the hi-hats. For the kick, we're using one from Cymatics drum kit again called the Tape Noise Kick. Here are the notes that the kick plays. And on to the 808. For this 808, using the exact same Metro Boomin one, we just have a second pattern coming in with a slight variation. And here's what the transition to the kick sounds like. Now on to the next section. Okay, so in this section we are going back to the original string pattern that came in the intro. We also have another snare coming in. For this we're using a Metro Boomin snare. Here are the notes for that, and I will play this with the main snare. Okay, in the next section, we are actually going back to the original piano notes that we had in the very beginning of the song. We also have our last string pattern coming in. Altogether, this section sounds like this. And at the very end, you have this outro. I think that does it for this Deconstructed, guys. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Consider liking and subscribing if you learned something. Got more Deconstructeds coming for y'all. And until then, guess I'll catch you in the next video.